Hey everybody, Mature Simmer here. So I like the fact that we see a southwest plane out there. I'll explain why in a bit, but we're starting to get a few things loaded up. So we are trying some new stuff here. Looks like planes are moving out. Seems to be some motion, so maybe they're taxiing, I'm not sure. Yep, he's definitely turning and moving. Also, it looks like we've got one sitting here. This one's way bigger than us, but and this is the small GA aircraft, or hangar here at Midway. So I wouldn't expect something that large there, so, you know, things are what they are. We'll get our wheel chocks, we'll get our engine covers, and we'll get inside our aircraft. But as I said, we can see here, so before I turn things on and start going with the battery and whatever, let me explain what we're trying to do. So we have finally gotten to the point where the live, let me just make sure I get the terminology right, the AI living world in early preview beta mode from Sayintentions. And for a long time they had asked folks not to stream because it was definitely in, you know, a real early state. Obviously, again, I do want to repeat again, it's early preview beta. So if things don't go well, you know, if things act funny with traffic, they're working on things actively. So, you know, again, they've asked us to make sure we let people know that, so in case something happens. But so what that means is I'm not using FSLTL for injection. It is used for the models. So I think that's how we get some of the aircraft skins and stuff we do. So that is still loaded, but it will do that without me having to load FSLTL. In fact, they suggest we don't do those things because it will likely cause a problem. But with that, we're going to go ahead. It's supposed to take a couple minutes before everything goes, moving traffic gets working, and things like that. So we're just going to go through our normal setup here. A little cloudy here in Chicago. The street race is over, and Shane Van Gisbergen was the one who pulled off the victory last weekend. So this weekend, we, as I've been talking about for several episodes, we are now flying basically cross-country to Sonoma, California, for the Toyota Save Mart 350, which is going to take place in the afternoon of Sunday, July 13th. So I'm going to try to get this done, but wanted to try to use this new feature here. Now, we should not hear anybody until we're on the appropriate frequency. So while I'm saying that, let me get interesting. I don't know why it's now telling me.
TOS system test. Okay.
It's telling me that it can't see anything in Sayintentions, which is odd. That's unfortunate, because obviously it did join up and you know, stuff was happening, but I can't see my ATC frequencies at this point. So let me see. What if I do new flight? Yeah, it's telling me it's like at the main screen, which makes no sense, because we're clearly not at the main screen. So I don't know, this may or may not work. Let me see if I close Sayintentions. All right, all the planes did disappear. So clearly Sayintentions was doing that injection. Alright, so I'm trying this another way just to see if I can make it work, and if I can't, then we'll, you know, just fly without ATC and, you know, just kind of make it a little more boring flight than would normally be the case. But I'm looking up the clearance delivery frequency at Midway in Navigraph, so I have that now. Midway clearance, Walker 4021 requesting IFR to Sonoma. Alright, it did connect. Now it's saying give me 1 second for that clearance, but it's obviously not saying that. Looks like we're going to have 2271 as our identification. Let me go, oops. I'm going to go ahead and get these set. We're going to get our APU going. That will help things along here. Right, so, I mean, it clearly can see some things, but yeah, it has not come back yet, so I'm not sure if it's really going to work or not. So I know folks have been using it. I mean, again, we're clearly getting traffic put in, but why we aren't hearing anything is a little unfortunate. Midway clearance, Walker 4021, do you copy?
This is what the ATC audio sounds like, and next is what yours sounds like.
Oh, I see. Midway clearance, Walker 4021, do you copy? So it's reset me here. Let's go back there. Midway clearance, Walker 4021, requesting IFR to Sonoma.
Walker 4021, cleared to Santa Rosa. Radar vectors Pecky. Then as filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.2 squawk 2271. And we had to change your departure runway to 31 left. 1 second while I grab the paperwork.
Okay, so it kind of got
Walker
mixed up.
4021, cleared to Santa Rosa.
Alright, so we're
Radar
getting a
vectors
second
Pecky.
clearance.
Then as filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.2 squawk 2271. And I know it's not what you filed, but you can expect runway 31 left.
Cleared to Santa Rosa, radar vectors PECU, then is filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 36010 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.2 squawk 2271. Expect runway 31 left. Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, read back correct.
Okay, now it's interesting because it's telling me not used, but what we've been instructed is when it does change things to basically go ahead and right, so we're going to use no departure, but let me now go into the EFB. Going to need to get the flight set. In theory, we're landing at runway 14 at Sonoma, but basically with the Living World, they said go ahead and if it reassigns the runway, go with it, because that is what is necessary to really make this work appropriately. And we're not going to hear other taxi clearances, things like that, because they use premium voices in this. And so, you know, but runway 4 left is showing not used, as you can see. In theory, we should be on 22 right, but again, because of wind or other conditions, there really isn't that, but I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. But we're not doing any arrival, because the arrivals come from the south, and so I'm doing RNAV from Lapid we're doing that. Alright, and that should bring me in there. And we should be okay at this point. So that is what I want. I want to load that into the avionics. And we'll get that set. So, flight plan. And we can now see we've got 3-1 left. We're going to have vectors. Well, now Cygna, I guess it will just take us to Lapid, so that's okay. So we've got VNav, and yeah, we've already got the approach procedure, so all of that is good.
What airport is Kilo Mike Lima India? Okay, request IFR to Quad City International Airport.
Okay, so we're going to change this to flight
Clear to
level
Quad
360.
City International Airport, radar vectors Pecky, then is filed, climb and maintain 4,000. Expect 16,000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 128.2, squawk 1435.
50 miles out.
Runway 31C.
So I would
November,
think we'll be okay. So we want VNav.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
We're dialed into 4,000. Oops, not the heading. Alright, I think I must have hit the piece already to go ahead and do something else. Okay, but in any event, let me get things following here. And zoom in so we can see, but 3-1 left is not bad because we're kind of over here, so it's over to that side. But again, they may be on a different departure frequency or something. So I probably at this point need to go to ground. So we'll go 118075. Alright, and then we'll get ourselves started up. So I'll get my protection set there. Go up to our lights and get our taxi lights on. Squawk is good. Everything is set. Alright, well, and so those should be AI-driven aircraft. And it could be on 31, because he would cross in front of us there, although, yeah, it could be 30. Like, 31 left is a really thin runway, too, it looks like. Oh, a little rainbow there this morning. So, not bad. Alright, we've got another one going. So we might, you know, get lined up behind folks, this and that, but let's get the other engine running. Alright. And then we'll get our flaps down.
Hold short of taxiway, echo traffic on final approach.
And we need to get our stabilizer into takeoff configuration.
Southwest.
So flaps, stabilize, trim.
Delta 1674, taxi to runway 31 right.
Okay, so they're going to 31 right.
Delta 1624, IFR clearance to Wichita, Kansas.
And we should be able to see those planes as well, like once we start heading over there. Like there should be a delta there. So that is what this AI living world is supposed to give us. There will be not much chatter in the air, so keep that in mind. Again, I usually cut off, and especially on a long flight like this, we're definitely going to be doing that, but let's call in here. Midway ground, Walker 4021, ready to taxi.
Walker 4021, midway ground, taxi to runway 31 left via Yankee 3, Yankee Kilo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot 4.
Taxi to runway 31 left via Yankee 3, Yankee Kilo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot 4, Walker 4021. Alright, so we're going to turn, it's going to want us to turn left. So let's see, is there anything? No, I mean that plane is there, but so basically it wants us to go out that way. Instead, this is Yankee 4, so it's not asking us to go out there. So again, we've got another plane there, but and then let me get tower in here, which is going to be 1352. Get that in, and that way we can flip over easily enough. Alright, so we're going to disengage the parking brake, and we're gonna start moving. Come on. There we go. I mean, I know we need a little bit more power for it to be able to turn when we're turning this sharply, but...
Embraer 225 Echo Mike, hold short of runway 22, traffic on final. Holding short of runway 22, Embraer 225 Echo Mike.
And so as far as
Southwest
the calls...
1305, contact tower on 135.2 for departure clearance.
I'm not sure we're going to get anything substantially different on the, you know, the calls as far as how it feels, but it's more like all the traffic that's injected into the sim at this point is coming from Sayintentions. It's not coming from something else. It's not coming from the sim. It's not coming from another traffic injector like FSLTL. And so that is the difference, and you know, but the bigger difference is they control all the aircraft as well. So like they will fly, they will behave per what they're calling in is what we should be seeing. Okay, so this is Yankee 3. Now we're going out on Yankee, which is the main taxiway, and then Kilo's kind of across. So we're going to hit that.
Southwest 964, taxi to parking.
Southwest 964, taxi to parking
Sorry.
via Papa Yankee.
Yankee's over here. I was going down Yankee 2. So I kind of went a little too far, but luckily noticed it. So again, there's a plane taxiing there. And thinking they're taking off.
Frontier Flight 2209, request push and start.
Frontier Flight 2209, push and start through.
Interesting.
Pushback approved. Frontier Flight 2209.
I don't know that I would expect to hear that on ground, but I mean, I suppose you would. Once you've gotten clearance, you'd shift over to ground. Alright, now we're on Kilo, and then we'll go Foxtrot, and so we basically just passed our parking space at this point. Is kind of what we've done. It's a little quieter here than I would have, I guess, expected. But before we take off, I'm going to make sure my tracking is running and all that. I do not want to redo a 1,600 mile flight because I didn't have tracking on. And there is Foxtrot 4.
Holding point Bravo via taxiway Alpha and Charlie.
So if we were going to 31 right,
Point Bravo via Alpha and Charlie King Air 145 Kilo Alpha.
if we were going to 31 right, we'd continue on and move over a bit. Alright, let's
Frontier Flight 2209 are ready to taxi.
Frontier Flight 2209, a taxi to runway 31 right via Yankee Papa Tango.
31 right via Yankee Papa. Tango Frontier Flight 2209er.
Alright, I noticed I don't have my fuel set, so I do need to do that.
Southwest 1739, ready for pushback. Southwest 1739, pushback approved. Push and start approved. Southwest 1739.
Alright, I appear to have information, but let's flip now. Midway Tower, Walker 4021, runway 31 left, ready for takeoff. So Southwest just landed there, pretty hard, but...
Walker 4021, Midway Tower, runway 31 left, winds 200 at 5, fly runway heading, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 31 left, cleared for takeoff, Walker 4021. Alright, so we are all set. The lights are configured. We should be able to get ourselves out there and get going.
Southwest 367, contact ground on 118.075. Ground Southwest 367.
I don't like the default look here. I guess we're only 25. I thought I was at 31% or so already. 25, it does roll a little slowly, but you can see this is tiny runway, but again, right, so the Southwest is taxiing back.
Short of runway 12 traffic on final.
I'm sure
Holding short of
that's
runway 12, citation 433, Mike Whiskey.
the one that landed.
Over to ground on 118075.
Alright, so here we go. I mean, we should be fine for taking off here. It's not like a super short runway or anything, although obviously it's getting there. Alright, let's see if we can get airborne. Here we go. Alright, so we want to get up a bit. Should be able to turn on autopilot. And hopefully it'll keep climbing. Because it may be
Airspeed.
Don't sink, 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 don't
Right.
sink,
So the auto throttle is on,
don't sink, don't sink, don't sink,
so it should be
don't sink,
okay here,
don't sink, don't sink,
hopefully.
don't sink, don't sink,
Alright, is the auto throttle on?
don't sink, don't sink, auto throttle, too low, laps, too low, laps, too low, too laps, too low, laps,
Alright,
too low, laps,
let's get going here.
too low, laps.
We're gonna manually take over for a bit. We haven't filled up our gear, so that's not good either. Alright, so not quite sure why.
4021, contact departure.
Come on.
Southwest 736, winds 200 at 5, runway 31 right, cleared to land.
Descent rate.
Cleared to land, runway 31 right, Southwest
All right.
736.
Let me back this off.
Mooney 924 Foxtrot Delta cleared to land runway 31.
Cleared to land runway 31, Mooney 924 Foxtrot Delta.
So I'm struggling
Departure American 2450.
with getting the auto throttle.
6 Bravo Lima, contact departure. Off to departure, 6 Bravo Lima.
Now it should be able to.
Sync rate.
Come on.
Sync rate.
should be able to grab this. There we go. Alright. So I'm trying to let it stabilize itself because I've been hand flying it too much. Alright, flaps are up. Everything else is good. Alright, just gonna do flight level. Change. Now we're supposed to contact departure. So we're gonna do that. Midway departure, Walker 4021 with you.
Walker 4021, Chicago departure, radar contact. Climb and maintain flight level 340, turn left heading 265, vectors to Pecky, then on navigation.
Climb and maintain flight level 340, turn left heading 265, vectors to Pecky, then own navigation, Walker 4021. Alright, so I'm having to manually play with this a little bit. Now we're going into some cloud cover, but everything's up, wheels are up.
6162,
It was
contact
definitely
Chicago Tower on
not the
128.15.
best.
Over to Chicago Tower on 128.15, Utah, Wisconsin 6162.
You know, and we're gonna get a little bit of these calls, I would think.
Envoy 4094, contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
I'm gonna take a look.
Switching to Chicago
Yeah,
Tower on 128.15.
there's a lot of traffic.
Envoy 4094.
So again, I'm gonna pull this over. I don't
Chicago
normally
Tower,
do
Envoy
that.
4094,
Here we
established on the
go.
ILS runway 27 right.
There's Envoy.
Envoy 4094, Envoy
Oh, no.
4094,
I'm sorry,
roger.
4094 right there. So
Chicago Tower, Wisconsin 6162, established on the RNAV runway 28 center.
Wisconsin 6162, Wisconsin
and that is
6162, roger.
all injected by
Skywest
Sayintentions. So
4646, contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
Over to Chicago Tower on 128.15, CH Skywest 4646.
alright, so we're at
Chicago Tower,
10,000
Skywest 4646.
coming out of the
established
clouds.
on the ILS runway 28 left.
Skywest 4646, Skywest 4646, roger.
Alright.
Bonanza 6,
So,
Alpha
again,
Lima
we're going to
traffic at your
Pecky.
10 o'clock, 2 miles, same altitude, advise if in sight.
And now you can see it's doing a flight level change at 270 here.
United 1414, contact Chicago Tower on 128.15.
So I
Switching
should,
to Chicago Tower on 128.15, United 1414.
it should continue on its own, but we'll
Chicago
see.
approach, Envoy 3744, 10,000.
But now we're kind of
Envoy
into the
3744,
blue
radar
skies, so we'll be moving
Chicago
along.
Tower, United 1414, established on the RNAV Yankee runway 28 left.
So while there's some calls for a little bit,
United
we'll
1414,
stay on.
United 1414, roger.
Like, there's nothing appearing in front of me. You know, and a lot of it's O'Hare traffic, which I don't know why we don't. I guess it is a major traffic frequency, but I'm like, I don't know why we'd be hearing that. Right, so 16, we're gonna be up. Yeah, I also didn't set my my altimeter, so kind of sloppy because of all the focus on the Sayintentions stuff, but it's all right. We've survived. That might have been part of our problem, honestly. So we're trying to get to 34.
Envoy
Peck you.
3744, direct Bonzo. Cleared for the ILS runway 27 right approach. Descend and maintain altitude 4,000 until established.
Down to 4,000 cleared for the ILS, runway 27 right approach, Envoy 3744.
Now I think that's one that just came on to the scope. Oh no, that's
Walker
37.8.
4021, contact Chicago Center on 134.825.
Contact Chicago Center 134.825, Walker 4021. Alright, so now
Envoy
we're going
3744,
to
contact Chicago Tower on
Chicago Center, Walker 4021 with you, flight level 220, climb flight level 340.
Walker 4021, Chicago Center, good morning.
JetBlue 222, maintain 300 knots.
Maintaining 300 knots, JetBlue 222.
He's getting kind of slow. I mean, the climb is nice, but
Chicago Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
at this level, I'm not sure. I mean, it is dropping down,
Maintain
which
flight level 350.
it should, but it's still slowing is the problem.
Charlie Lima.
We obviously don't want to get to a stall,
Cessna 7 Charlie Lima,
but
climb
it
and
is
maintain flight level 410.
kind of maxed here. You know, the problem ends up being it's going to start climbing
Chicago
slower
Center,
and
climb and
slower.
maintain flight level 360.
Okay, that is my cruise. I maintain flight level 360, Walker 4021. That is what I have dialed in, right? Yep. Right, I don't think we'll be there at 11 miles, but, you know, we're gonna try. Alright. I think we're gonna lower this down and, it's gonna speed us up here, which is what's going on. So it's gonna bring the nose down, go level until we get to 270, and then it's going to try to get us to climb at that point. So this can be a bit sloppy the way this is going, but alright, and we may at this point, because we've switched to center, there may not be much going on. So as I sit and take the rest of this flight, I am going to go ahead and step away. It looks like we have 1,570 miles is what I'm seeing on my indicators, but I'm going to let you go and we'll connect up when we get closer to Sonoma. Alright, we're back here. We've got about 3 minutes, a little bit less, to top of descent, according to this. It looks like it always seems in this aircraft to coincide with a waypoint most of the time, which seems a little odd. But at this point, we just crossed the California border, so we're heading out there. I did see a weird anomaly when we zoom in. Let's see if it... Yep, there we go. It's like we get this weird set of cables and pipes or something, but then if we turn to a certain angle, it goes away. So, kind of interesting, but problem with the model, I suppose, a little bit. But I think this is the general Asobo longitude. This isn't a payware add-on, and so not that those things don't exist on a payware side, but might be less likely. So, a little bit of a lake over there. But yeah, which I think is the lake by Carson City, Nevada, by the border. So like I said, we're just crossing. I've got Sandra handling the comms as always once we get going. It looks like it's giving us the Vineyard arrival, which is not what we want. So, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, let me get myself a little set. We're not descending yet, so I'm not really going to worry about the, whatchamacallit, the, landing rate monitor. We'll wait until we're closer.
75, reduce speed to 220 knots for sequencing.
But
Reducing to 220 knots, Virgin 875.
we're heading to Cigna is our next waypoint. We're about 2 miles away, starting to make the turn based on where we're going to end up. And so yeah, the Vineyard departure is south. So if it doesn't have us coming in on 14, I'm gonna have a problem, I guess. But this is where it's suggesting, or Simbrief has suggested we go. But yeah, we have 101 miles, but you can see VPath is blinking, and we are now starting to descend. And that also obviously comes with starting to slow down. I think we'll just go to 270 like it shows, so it won't be a huge slowdown. but it'll be something. But yeah, I had the Vineyard arrival before, but it just wasn't, it was really roundabout. It didn't make a lot of sense in my mind, so we're gonna try this, but we still have over 100 nautical miles to go, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. Probably cut a little bit out here until we get closer and start getting into final, but at least wanted you to be aware where we were at and join in very briefly for that. But right now we're going nearly 90 more miles, so I will see you in a bit. Alright, so it has refused 14.
Altimeter 29.901.
Descend and maintain 16,000. Walker 4021.
Alaskan 413, expect runway 09er for landing. Expecting runway 09er, Alaskan 413.
Alright, so it's almost standard. Now let's see, if I go here, where's top of descent? 15 minutes? That's crazy, but okay.
Oakland Center.
And this
Delta
is where I think
1628,
sometimes the
330.
flight plan or the flight
Delta
model on
1628,
this
radar contact.
is a bit off with things. Yeah, so I think it's starting to line up. So basically, we were at Cigna, and then we had continued, but then we're now coming back here to, let me see if I want to do this or not. Yeah, I may actually go direct Zomer just to cut a little bit off here. So let me go do that. And that will at least get us not heading back, because right now Zomer's almost straight south of me. You know, and then we've got 76, where otherwise we're basically kind of going over, it's near the Yosemite Valley, or Yosemite Village is what I see here on the Navigraph map, is where the other waypoint was. But now that we're kind of off, like this'll work. So again, keep in mind that 94 miles is to the airport, and at this point we're basically just staying at the same distance. So I'm gaining like 0.01 miles. But yeah, this is gonna take a bit.
Radar contact.
I'm just hoping we don't have any problem with anything. Alright, 8 minutes, that's better. Because yeah, otherwise it just took longer, and so basically I'm sure this is getting me there, because you can see on the flight plan, Zomer I think is 2,700, and then we're down to 19, or 27, flight level 270, saying it appropriately. And then Kmdw will be flight level 190.
Delta 1293, radar contact.
So, I'm going to, again, cut away for a little bit so you don't have just a lot of flight with nothing going on. And we'll join back up when something's going on. Alright, so we're coming in, turning into the Vineyard approach finally, and heading toward Kmdw, which has that hard limit of flight level 190. So we're going to be doing that. We're descending, obviously. We've got 16 miles, so should be okay, but we might be close in getting down there. Basically 1,000 feet every 3 miles, so we should be able to go down 5,000 feet over the course of the 15 miles we have left to Kmdw. But obviously we shall see. And then after that we've got flight level 164, but it looks like our next hard limit is simply Lucy being above 3,000. So we're cleared by ATC down to 16,000. So that is what we have there. But at this point, we're eating up the miles a little quicker, but you can see we're back over 100, where last we were talking, we were over, you know, just about 94, 95 to go. So we got a little further away from the airport, but again, we passed it on the north-south direction, but obviously we're eating the miles a little quicker now. So Oakland is our alternative airport
Over to NorCal approach on
if we had a
120.9,
problem,
Coney
so
Island
we're in
805.
essence going to overfly that on the way.
2204, contact NorCal approach on 120.9er.
Over to NorCal approach on 120.9er and Horizon Air 2204.
Alright, so it's slowing down the approach here.
Cessna 402, Papa Echo, maintain
Probably
8500 traffic, 2 o'clock, 5 miles.
Probably want to pull the speed brake up a bit so
500,
that we can go a little
Cessna
quicker.
402, Papa Echo.
Otherwise, I think we're in danger of not quite making it, so.
Maintain 280 Southwest 2711.
But we'll do that. We got a
Center,
mile,
Alaska 816,000.
a little over 2 miles, so we should be okay at
Alaska 8,
this
radar
point.
contact.
So get the speed brake back down. There we go. We're gonna lock in at 19. So we hit the point we need, and now again it's just between here and Lucy, which is going to be probably 10-15 miles from the airport. We need to get down to 3,000 feet. But now we're back approaching 95 nautical miles from the airport. We've got 13 miles to Steve. I always just like to check. Right, there is a top of descent, which means the plane will try to do something. Looks like just before we get there. It looks awfully close though, but that's what it's going to try to do. So this is where I think we have an issue with the flight model. I'm going to override this because I just don't like what it's doing and the landings it's forced me to have. So we're going to descend here. I don't know that we need to go this aggressively, but that's what flight level change is doing. So we'll flip back because now we're below transition level. And then obviously it will pull up here at 16,000. And that was about where we were expecting to be. At Steve, and now we're, you know, flight level 18.4, which is not, can't imagine it will climb, so we should be okay. And then at Oakland, it's targeting 11,000, and Vineyard will be 7,600 feet. But I think it's trying to get us back up to speed there. Alright, so we're turning.
UPS 461, heavy cleared for the star arrival contact approach on 119.3.
So I would think we'll go a little quicker
switching to
because
119.3, UPS 461
now
heavy.
we're cutting the distance kind of on the diagonal.
Contact NorCal approach on 120.9er.
Over to
Again,
NorCal approach on 120.9er.
still
United
running
2391.
AI Living World here, but yeah, got to take quite a turn. And then we'll be heading to the Oakland Bay. So kind of coming over the mountains. And this is the only approach. There is no northern approach, so I think to be using any star, you're coming in from the south of this airport. I did drop off Reaver, so Bird right after Vineyard is the last waypoint, because otherwise we'd go and then basically almost have to do a 100 or 120 degree turn to come back to Lucy. So instead we'll just go straight from Bird to Lucy.
Oakland Center, flare 1888, flight level 390.
So that is here.
Flare 1888, radar contact.
Okay, top of descent within a minute. So I'm going to lower this down to 3,000.
Oakland Center, SkyWest 5468, flight level 180.
I don't know, again, now this is a
5468,
Sayintentions problem, where it's not telling me to descend further, really in time. So, again, VNAV, well now top of descent is, yeah, 15,
United 2716, contact
15
NorCal approach
seconds.
on 120.9er.
So we really should get a call
Switching to NorCal
at
approach
this
on
point, but we're not.
120.9er, United 2716.
But it is estimating to get down the way we need to drop down at this point, which makes sense because we've got to go down 12,000 feet. That would be
United 1449er, contact
36
NorCal
to
approach
40
on
miles.
120.9er.
Over to NorCal approach on 120.9er, United 1449er.
Take a peek out here.
Sierra Mike traffic alert 12 o'clock.
So that's
4
the
miles
south
opposite
end
direction.
of the bay.
Traffic in sight, Spirit 555 Sierra Mike.
Yeah, we're not going down super fast at this point, just to not have crazy start happening. We'll get the landing monitor up. Sandra, please take over comms.
All right, I'll handle the comms from here.
She always sounds so annoyed. I don't know, maybe she just enjoys going along for the ride and doesn't
Skywest
want
5811, contact
to do
NorCal
any
approach
work.
on 120.9er. Over to NorCal approach on 120.9er E, Skywest 5811. Walker 4021, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, Walker 4021. Alright, I will try to kind of do what it's telling me with ATC, but, well, I guess she could have said that. Forgot I handed her control. She's probably looking at me now.
Walker 4021, contact approach on 120.905.
Let her do this.
Switching to approach on 120.905, Walker 4021.
Alright, so that is Oakland Airport. So,
Approach Walker 4021. Morning. Descending through 14,000 feet down to 6,000.
6,000.
4021. Good morning, Santa Rosa. Altimeter 29.88. Expect the ILS runway 32 approach into Santa Rosa.
Expect the ILS runway 32 approach into Santa Rosa, Walker 4021.
Alright. So,
San Francisco Tower, United 2391, established on the RNAV runway 28 left.
United 2391, United 2391, roger.
So I'm hoping the sound on this video has been okay. Certainly let me know if it has not. I realized I was catching a lot of background.
27, climb and maintain 7,000, turn left, heading 210. Climbing to 7,000, left to 210, JetBlue 183.
And just...
Avid 925, contact Oakland Center on 132.905.
132.905, Avid 9 Air, 25 Heavy.
So yeah, we've got some busy airspace. Oh, we have some boats off the coast
cleared for the GLS
that
runway
are
28
showing
left
up
approach.
on Little
Descend and
Nav
maintain
map.
altitude 6,000 until established.
Down to 6,000, cleared for the GLS runway 28 left approach. United 2716.
Locale approach southwest 1318, 13,000.
Southwest 1318, radar contact.
Alright, so now we're obviously angling even closer toward the airport. Then we'll make somewhat the final turn after that, once we get to Vineyard here. But Vineyard is, I believe, across, yeah, it's across the bay. So at this point we're really starting to go through. So yeah, that may actually be Oakland. That other one might have been something
Tower
else.
on 120.5.
Switching to San Francisco Tower on 120.5, this United 2716.
But yeah, we have 15 miles. Trying to get down to 7,000, so should be fine.
San Francisco Tower, United 2716, established on the GLS runway 28
I've
left.
got my landing lights on as we approach 10,000.
2716, United 2716, roger.
But hopefully, you know, what I'm really striving for is just cleaner landings. I mean, I've had way too many of these bounce and go sideways things that would really normally be really bad. And I'm honestly probably only getting saved by a little bit of the less realistic settings, because as anybody who's watched my flight simming, you know, it's kind of common practice to have the crash detection off or collisions with the ground, because sometimes the airport scenery is just a bit of a mess,
maintain 170 knots to McGee.
and you don't want to, you know, lose a flight or whatever
1721.
for something like that.
NorCal approach November 123 Alpha Zulu. Did you have me go direct seeds?
Cessna 3 Alpha Zulu, turn right, heading 270.
Expect 28 left and into San Francisco and 3,000.
Alright. So obviously we're slowed down, so we want to be below 250 knots, below 10,000. So that is working properly in the flight model, but this obviously then extends time because we're no longer flying at the
cleared
pace
for the
we
ILS
were.
runway 30 approach, descend and maintain altitude 2700 until established.
Down to 2700, cleared for the ILS runway 30 approach, southwest 1318.
Walker 4021, descend and maintain 3700, turn right, heading 350 vectors for the ILS runway 32 approach.
Descend and maintain 3700. Right turn heading 350 for the ILS runway 32 approach. Walker 4021.
It should be turning shortly, so I'm just going to let it continue to follow the path. But we're 2.4 miles, you know, just about 2 miles, and then I think things still aren't blinking. There we go. So it's just going to turn us to 325, not 350, but that's interesting. But that should be close enough, and then we'll, you know, obviously get going on the approach. Yes, we wanted to be at 7,000 something here, so we're good. And then for Lucy, we need to be above 3,000. Birdie is what, 5,400? 5,800? 5,800. We just need to go down 1,500 feet or so. And yeah, I don't know if some of it, because it does look a little bit more, there's a little bit more terrain north of the airport. EDOV is. It's theoretically saying...
Walker 4021, proceed direct EDOV, descend and maintain 2700 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 32 approach.
Right, well, Lucy will get me there.
Proceeding direct EDOV, descend and maintain 2700 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 32 approach. Walker 4021.
Alright. So, lots going on in the San Francisco area here. It is behind us. So this is kind of north of Napa a little bit.
Departure Southwest 1185, 2000 for 4000.
It's really kind of
Southwest
west
1185, radar
northwest
contact,
from
climb
there.
and maintain 12-1-2000.
Climb 12, 12000, Southwest 1185.
Now I'm going to look at my... Oops, wrong one. I want to look at my little nav map. Okay, it doesn't have anything out there with me. All of the flights are kind of in the airspace at the other airports.
Southwest 1185, contact Oakland Center on 119.475.
But yeah, we're passing...
Switching to Oakland Center on 119.475, she Southwest 1185.
Novato is the town. I'm quite zoomed in on my little nav map at this point. But 5,600, so yeah, we just passed that. 12 miles to get down to really 3,000 feet. And then, you know, we go from there. So let's see, can I arm the approach? Not yet. But slow descent, which, you know, is certainly what we'd prefer. So, coming up on Petaluma, that's the city in front of us. But we're interesting because it's telling us, you know, height above ground levels. Just depends. Yeah, now we're, because it's saying it's 4,400. I mean, it did tell us 2,988, so I'm not sure if things change or if we are, like, this is below.
294, cleared for residential chemtrail ops at or above flight level 350.
I guess it's like 300 feet.
Approved. Janet 294, have a great day.
So I think it's okay. Alright. So now we're going across the outskirts of Petaluma. Then we're going to have Rohnert Park is just south of there is where we hit Lucy. But need to get, again, another 1,000 feet at this point by the time we get there. And again, we've got over 4 miles, so it should be doable. Now, normally I think that's a descent rate of 1,500 feet, but we are also going slower. And then EDOV is just a little bit after that, just on the other side of the town of Rohnert Park. So really, kind of right there is where EDOV is, which is where they want us at 2,700. Now the question is, can I get the approach here? Cannot. I don't understand. And I wonder if I need to pass Lucy before I can theoretically lock in. So, let's see. Right. Now, yes, I can turn on the approach now that we're officially on the approach.
Contact Santa Rosa Tower on 118.5.
And see the glide
Switching to
path
Santa
coming
Rosa
in.
Tower on 118.5.
2,700, then 2,000. So, should lock us in. Here we go. Glide
Santa
slope
Rosa
is
Tower,
live.
Walker 4021,
Localizer
morning.
is...
We're established on the ILS approach
And there's
for
our
runway
runway.
32.
Alright, we're gonna
Walker
go
4021,
flaps
Santa
1.
Rosa Tower, winds 235 at 3. Runway 32, cleared to
And
land.
we just grabbed the glide slope.
Runway 32,
So we're good.
cleared to land. Walker
Go there
4021.
and get gear down. So we're suddenly going to need to accelerate quite a bit.
Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2, hold short of runway 27, awaiting further instructions.
Alright.
Holding
Full
short of runway
flaps
27,
now.
Bonanza 64 Foxtrot Alpha 2.
127.8, November 83, 160. Sonoma ground, November 83, wind 6 Foxtrot, holding short of 32.
So there's a lot of planes on the ground there, but that's what I'm seeing right now.
Foxtrot Santa Rosa Tower cleared to Red Bluff. Radar vector Snoopy.
Nothing really,
Climb and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level
nothing really
18010
flying
minutes
around.
after departure. Departure on 127.8. Squawk 1532.
Alright, 1,500 feet. Alright, so we're set there. Let's back off a bit. I want to get the auto throttle. So about 500 feet off the ground is usually a good spot. Sometimes I've been with airliners, I've been pushing it to 3. I've done it with this, but seem to have really poor results. So maybe setting up a little earlier will be good. Right now I can't really see the PAPI lights. I assume we have some with an ILS approach. Right, 600. So yeah, what I was saying on the sound, I've put a, it's called a noise gate on the bottom because I was getting some sound from the flaps above, or the flaps, the fan above. I don't know why it fell there, but okay. Right. So I'm gonna pop the auto throttle here. Whoops. I don't like that view, but it's what I got. Sync rate's fine. Calm down. Alright.
Cessna 9001 Bravo, taxi to holding point runway 32 via taxiway Bravo.
Should be okay here.
To holding point runway 32 via taxiway Bravo, Cessna 9001 Bravo. Over to
Much better. Much better.
Command T1 Delta Sierra, contact departure on 127.8.
Get the nose down. We'll get ourselves rotated off here. A little further than we would have liked. But looks like everything's over there, so we're gonna head that way. But we have some planes. So this again would be Sayintentions, injecting parked aircraft, and it'll also
Switching
have
to
ones in
ground
motion.
on 121.9er, Walker 4021.
But not quite sure how we landed, but it should have been pretty good. I never see the pop-up except when I'm
Santa Rosa
replaying.
Tower, Walker 4021. Good morning. We're clear of runway 32 and ready to taxi to the gate.
Alright, we are, yes, we're clear. You want to be clear of this, not stop before it. just in case. That's something I've been emphasizing because I've only recently learned that myself. Okay, not gonna tell us anything? I don't understand. So I guess we'll head to a gate. I don't know why it's not speaking to us. 1185 is tower. Yeah, I'm not sure, but we'll head over that way, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I don't need like a gate. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's gonna give us anything, but some parking over here. So we will go do that.
Mooney 824 Foxtrot Delta cleared to land. Runway 32 caution, wake turbulence.
So we got a little bit delta
Clear to land,
there.
runway 32 Mooney 824 Foxtrot Delta.
Ground on 121.9, 7 Tango Charlie.
7 Tango Charlie, you're leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
So we're gonna head
Tango
over
frequency change for 7 Tango Charlie, good day.
kind of near these smaller hangars. I think that'll be a good spot to wait. And we'll just park it right about here. Oh, that'll work. Turn on the parking brake. We should be good. Just need to shut off the engines, but you know, here we are. Got a United and a Delta sitting out there. So kind of worked the way it should, I think, with the AI living world. It shouldn't be too crazy, as they say, especially when we're flying. There wasn't a lot until we were starting to land. But if I go here, you know, again, we can get the APU going, and that way, if we need power, we'll have it. That's really kind of the way we should be doing things. So this turned off. And then we'll be all set in a little bit here. So put the shields on. Alright. I think the PIREP was found. We should be okay. Always good to go check. So I will do that. Yep, we're ready to go with leg 22, which will take us back across the country again. So next week's flight, longest one, it may be the longest one, because even down to Mexico City, we had 1,582 and 1,776. This is going to be over 2,000 miles.
Heading 280, maintain 2,000 feet vectors for traffic.
So we're going to go ahead and shut down our radio.
422 Alpha Mike.
So that will turn us off there. But as always, I hope you've enjoyed this journey with our VIPs as we take them around for the NASCAR races. And again, they'll be racing at Sonoma on a road course. So 2 road courses in a row for the NASCAR circuit, because it was the Chicago street course, which is what we just left when we took off from Midway. And we are here in California. This is the westernmost point of the entire season. And then, you know, we'll be heading back across, but we've still got quite a few legs here through the rest of the year. But the big long one is next week, and then we're back to kind of the 500 miles or so, I think, is what we stick with for a bit. Might have a little bit longer ones here and there, but we'll see how things play out. As always, if you've enjoyed this, haven't dropped a like or subscribe, please consider those things, and I will see you next time.